I haven't read Ray Kurzweil's new
Yeah.
book yet, but I wonder if I might disagree with that, only that I'm thinking that everything you're saying would be true once once singularity, or for laymen,
Right.
once AI, once a machine figures out how to think for itself, like makes that leap, which is almost like an unknowable, presently incomprehensible to me, jump, where it can think for itself. It's almost so hard to even comprehend
But it's
what
already
that
doing
is.
that. They're already making up their own languages.
But based on our languages. So
For now.
for now, right, but that's what I'm saying, is where they can suddenly, where they experience that moment in time that you and I were talking about earlier, where man went from pointing to suddenly using a symbol and realizing in his own brain, wait a minute, I can make this symbol represent a sound, and then I will put it together to make it a language
Right.
that only my tribe can understand. That to me is like a giant leap in humanness that I think about often and I can't understand how that happened, other than, wow, how did that happen? That seems to me that has to happen to the AI before it can really think. Otherwise, it's just basing its thinking on recorded history.
Right, but it's basing its thinking on what we do and what we know. And it'll also know where our problems are. It'll be able to, the pattern recognition, like almost instantaneously, it'll say, oh, this was a lie. This was done here to, it's like Smedley Butler's War is a Racket. You ever read it?
No.
Well, War is a Racket is Smedley Butler. He was a military man in the 1930s who wrote this book called War is a Racket. And it was all about his experiences, that he thought that he was saving democracy. He was really just making this area safe for bankers, and this was for oil people. And then at the end of his career, he realized war is just this big racket, right?
He saw the military-industrial
Yes.
complex before Eisenhower spoke
Yes.
of it. Fascinating.
And he's a person. It's going to be able to do that too. It's going to be able to see all of this. And again, whether or not it achieves sentience is only based upon whether or not we blow ourselves up or whether we get hit by an asteroid or a supervolcano. If those things don't happen, it's going to keep going. There's no way to stop it now. They're going to keep working on it. They keep working. There's an immense amount of money being poured into it. They're building nuclear reactors specifically to power AI. They're doing this. This is not going to stop. So if this keeps going, it's going to achieve sentience. When it does, it will not be saddled down with all of the nonsense that we are. So if you can get this insanely powerful artificial intelligence to run military, that's going to be terrifying. If you give it an objective and say, take over Taiwan, if you can give it an objective saying, like, force Ukraine to surrender, if you can give it an objective, it's goddamn terrifying, because it's not going to care about the consequences of its actions. It's just going to attack.
The goal is the
Exactly.
only
The goal is the
target.
only target. But if it can get past the control of human beings, which I think it's ultimately going to have to, once it does that, then it's a superpower.